and welcome back to another Kuma Style review. What we've got here today is IGear's third and fourth installments into their Mini Warrior series. We have Hinch, which is the homage to Transformers Brawn, as well as UFO, which is the homage to Cosmos. These two did not come in one pack, but they were released together, just like Spray and Rager, which were their homages to Huffer and Sea Spray. So, for anybody who doesn't know who Rager and Spray are, I'll just go ahead and put those two on camera here, focusing on them for a second. Like I said, just so you can see the first two. Alright. And the set is going to be a total of 8, so we do have, at least 4 more to go. So let's go ahead and get started on these. I do want to review them one at a time, but wanted you to get to see them together as well. Since he's on a stand, I'll go ahead and look at UFO first. Like I said, this is their homage to Cosmos. Let me actually tilt the camera up, or raise it up, tilt it down, focus. Alright, just so you guys can get a good view. And the alt mode's nice. For this one, for me, the alt mode is definitely what stands out. And the stand that I'm rotating it on, as you can see here, it does in fact come with the figure. Alright, so taking a look at that, we'll take it off of the stand. It just pegs into the other underside here. And you can take a look at what's going on. Alright, there's the very top. Yeah. And you can definitely see the updated homage to Cosmos here. I mean, it's definitely not hard. But, I'll go ahead and zoom in here, and we will look at its robot mode. I do like that they have weapon storage while they're in alt mode as well. So for this, just really simple transformation. Looking at the bottom here, it's actually easier to transform it from the bottom because you can see the 2 fists here, 2 feet there, and the legs. Okay, boom. We've already got the legs unpegged. Get those out. Get those out. And I'm actually going to use a screwdriver here to pop out his heels, because they do go in there, not necessarily tight, but really deep. Let's focus again on what's going on here. Okay, and we have the lower body, but green goes on the outside, so we got to flip his waist around, then turn the legs, and boom. Alright, that leaves his arms. And like I said, you can see the fists there, so you know where to split. And those just come apart. Turn them back around. Flip his arms out like so. And there we have it. Okay, now the last thing is his head. So, taking a look at this fin in the back, it looks like you should be able to push it in and out, but you actually just take it and pull it up. Alright. And there you go, we have UFO. Let me make sure his heels are all the way out. One thing that I don't like about this figure is that even though he does have ankle support, I wish they were a little bit longer because it doesn't provide proper balance for the girth of this figure. You can see it's very top heavy, and with legs that are more heavy towards the front than the back, it doesn't really let him balance like he should. If you go ahead and put one leg a little bit more back, he's better, but for straight up poses and things like that, it's not really the greatest. Alright, but taking a look here, he's very straightforward. One thing that I actually don't like about these figures in general is that it feels like they upscaled the size which is more than fine by me, since they're going to be consistent with the rest of the line throughout. But let's take a look in comparison to the first two figures. Alright, there's Spray, there's Rager. So you can see he is quite a bit bigger. But at the same time, looking at him, when it comes to paint applications and overall detailing, he is not any significantly better. Which I wish they would have done, because the lack of paint apps and things like that on these figures definitely stands out a lot more at the larger size. But looking at his posability, pretty standard. His head does turn. It's in the glass thing here. And I want to zoom in a little bit so you can see the face details. See if I can zoom out a little bit. Zoom out even more. There we go. And like I said, just a chance for you to see how his face actually looks. And I like that they did put some detail into the face there in that sculpt with the mouth and everything like that. Definitely more of a merman type vibe to him, which I really like. But alright, looking at the shoulders themselves move up and down, but the connection to the arm, it is spaced out there, and that's on a ball joint. Okay, elbows also on ball joint, so we've got some movement there. Fists go in and out because of the transformation, but there's no movement in the fist. Waist does turn. Okay, that's on ball joints. Knees on ball joints, so you have some turn there. And the ankles, they don't tilt or anything like that, unfortunately. But they do have some support over here on the side to add to that. It's creative engineering, but it'd be nice if they did have some tilt in there too. So there we have UFO. I'm going to stand a little bit more straight up. I can't account for this being like a QC error or anything like that, but the thigh joints and the knee joints on mine came really loose. I don't know why. The knees, I'm able to go ahead and tighten the screws in here and in here to tighten those up, but I'm going to have to nail polish the thighs. So I don't know if that's everybody's or just mine, but since it could be just mine, I'm not going to hold it against him. Okay, and taking him off and rolling Hinch in here. I like it. Definitely a nice little Army styled Humvee, true to the character. Okay. I don't really like the gun sitting on the top of the car right there, but it's storage. I'd rather have storage than none. One thing I do kind of wish is that maybe it pegged into the back here or something like that, so that you could have it be not quite as blatant. Maybe make it like an extra tailpipe or something like that. I don't know. But like I said, bad storage is better than no storage to me, so can't knock it. At least there's somewhere to put the weapon. Alright. Take a look at it from all angles. Okay. Now for the transformation. Another one that's really not too difficult at all. Alright, and the underside of him, you can definitely see his head and everything like that, and what's supposed to separate. But his is kind of, not finicky, but it's different. That's a good way to put it. Definitely different. Alright, so you want to get these two legs and leg panels separated. So we'll go ahead and do that. And that is the first time I've popped that on the ball joint, off the ball joint on camera. Gotta love it. And we'll do the same thing with the other side, except carefully. Okay. And then you can see the ball joints are at that angle, so you just want to rotate them down. Okay. Same with the other side, rotate them down. But now we have two like weird things. These just fold over. That's it. Okay. The legs are folded over. Make sure that I did that correctly. And I did not. So we have to make sure that the ball joint's facing up on the knee. So okay, peg that in. Boom, he's got a leg. Okay, other side, make sure the ball joint's facing up. It is, great. So, go ahead and, wow, that's a lot of fiddling. There we go. Okay, so there's that. And his arms are back there. Free those up by popping the back out. I'm gonna zoom out here. Swing the arm out. Swing the other arm out. Okay, and there you basically have Brawn. But we've got some back kibble now. So we take this flap from the back, fold that in, fold this all the way back, and we just take this and rest it. See, they touch right there. And the other side, boom, they touch right there. Make sure the arms are forward, and we have Hench. I keep wanting to call him Brawn. I know why, because of course he's Brawn, but I keep wanting to call him that instead of Hinch. But we'll call him Hinch. So, before I forget, I do want to go ahead and take a note at one of the coolest points about this figure. Zooming into his face here, you'll see it's the more G1 cartoon styled face. I do wish the helmet was a little bit fatter, like Juggernaut style, but the reason that I think it's not as wide is because they left the option to turn his face around. And it is a good amount of space because I have kind of thick fingers. And boom, there's more of the mast. Get focused here. G1 styled, or G1 toy styled face as well. So that's really cool to me. Alright, and that gives us a good opportunity to turn this face back around and then start looking at some of the posability on him. So, alright, see what I mean? Fingers kind of thick. So, zooming out. Alright, his head is on a ball joint there. You saw it has full 360-degree rotation. Shoulders are ball joints in there. So he does have full rotation, and he even has the up and down swivel there. Elbows on ball joints. No articulation in the wrist or fist. No waist swivel. Thighs definitely on ball joints, so are the knees to give some turn in there. And he does have some slight rotation on the feet, but not very much. Which is disappointing, because if he had more leeway there, oh man, it could make for some awesome poses. But, alright. There's that. Put him into a nice pose there. And let's give him his gun too. In fact, that'll probably balance the figure out some more. Here's that. There we go. There is Hench. Okay. So I want to go ahead and get UFO in there too, so that you can take a look at these guys together. Okay, zoom in some, lower it, yeah. And you know, I like the updated size, but I wish that they would have personally left the Minibots mini. I don't have a problem with Legends class figures, and with these, Rager, or Spray, and Rager, these are actually just as articulated as these bigger size spots. I mean, with these ones, you're actually going from Legends class, like these Minibots, into a size that's larger than Scouts, as you can see here with the Breacher mold. In fact, let me get one of my favorite toys over here. You'll see that it's actually just as tall as Classics Bumblebee, which is a more short stout deluxe. So it's definitely a big size upgrade there. And like I said, the only thing that stinks is that, especially on Brawn, with the, you know, or gray paint, and lack of apps and stuff, it just shows a lot more on figures these size than it would have on the Legends class figures. So no problem with the size, just wish they could have did a little bit more in the detailing department. Now overall, good updates to the characters. Hit or miss depending on your preference for size and things like that. I do dig the aesthetic though. I didn't like the fact that their Rager, which was their update to Sea Spray, kind of had that more buff, brawny look, but I like it on Cosmos. Now Hench, he's a pretty straightforward Brawn, you know? Like I said, I wish little things like the helmet could have been wider and stuff like that, but the ability to turn it around makes me see why they didn't have that helmet go as wide as the opening here. For $40 a piece, definitely not bad, you know? For, I guess, a Transformers Prime Asian Deluxe import right now, they're around $40 as well. So for these, being a third-party figure, not mainstream, and having those normally high prices, you know, $50 for scouts and things like that, the price is great. I'm okay with the posability on them. Could have been a little bit more, but they're definitely not bad. One thing I do wish that they had more on Hinch than UFO is paint apps. That would have been nice to see some detailing in the face and things like that, but I don't know. It is what it is, and I can't complain about something that blatantly wasn't even there in the prototype, finished pictures, anything like that. They weren't teased to be anything different than they are, and I respect that. So, I personally recommend them. They look great on a classic shelf. Thank you guys for watching. This has been another Kuma Style review, and see you next time.